To learn to live the off-grid lifestyle and to be inspired to live your dreams, click subscribe so you don't miss anything. Click the bell notification. It's all free. Before I get into today's video, I want to ask you a favor. If I have been putting in 2 videos now, I've put my camera on my forehead. It's a GoPro, so it has really good bouncy action. It can remove the bounce, and it's amazing. GoPro is one of the best at doing that. I can put it on the lawnmower, and the lawnmower bounce around, but the picture looks very smooth. So I've been able to use it on my forehead. It really makes it easy to make videos that way. I can do some work. You can see me do the work, so it's like a point of view option. One of the problems with it, though, is when you spin the camera, you know, your head spins around, it can cause dizziness. Now, I've actually used it several times. On 2 occasions, I used it to repair the tiller carburetor, and nobody complained about those. One of them, I was stacking firewood, and that video did very, very, very well. Watch time was really good. Now, when you're a YouTuber, you want good watch time. So if I make a 11.5-minute video, the closer I can get people to watch to 11.5 minutes is better. But of course, they're getting dizzy, they cut out real fast. So the one I was stacking the firewood, it was like a 9 minutes average watch time I got. So it was really good. But then I did a walk through the woods, and I thought folks would really like a walk through the woods, and it didn't get very good watch time at all. It was probably like 7.5 minutes. And people were complaining they were getting dizzy. I would like for you, if you saw one of those 2 videos, to comment below and tell me if you like them or not, and see if we can take a little poll on that. Of course, if you don't remember seeing it, then don't bother, but it's I would like to do that. I've done one video where I did like a 30-second cut of me splitting firewood, and those seem to do okay, but I'm not spinning my head around a lot. So today, I gotta get busy on the firewood again. Carolyn and I have been making huge dents into this pile. We've got 3 piles actually, 3 piles. This one has gotten a lot smaller. I know it's hard to get a scale on how much we've gotten accomplished, but before we started, the firewood here ended just about right here where the tarp is. And so we've gotten 2 stacks here coming up. So that's probably getting close to being another cord of wood there. Not too bad. We've got a cord of wood split. Now she uses the manual log splitter, which I've shown you this before, and it's really good. It's 10 tons, and she likes it for exercise. And she'll come out several times in a day, and she'll do a log here or there, maybe 2 logs. And I use the maul. I split them with the maul. The problem is a lot of these logs that we got from this guy are way too long. So I've got to cut them in half. So you'll see that I've cut some in half. Some are, look at this big monster right here. I'll have to cut that in half. So I can split the longer logs with the maul, but it takes a lot of effort. When you cut them in half like this one here, it's a lot easier to split. Usually I can get it on one hit. But I've been leaving those for Carolyn because she can't even get the big ones on the log splitter. Now these over here are a lot older. These are a lot easier to split. The thing I don't understand is the moisture meter is still telling me that it's very high in moisture. So I'm not sure what's going on in that, but it's very dry inside. I mean, it meets all the criteria except the moisture meter. And then we got all this over here. We still got a huge stack over here, and these are pretty big that we got to get knocked down. So the problem with these is I can't split these with the maul. Carolyn can't split them with the manual log splitter. Now, in about another week and a half, we're gonna go get an electric log splitter, but that's only 5 tons. So Carolyn's log splitter is 10 tons. The electric one is 5 tons, but it's gonna be a lot faster. A lot of people are saying, well, no, the electric log splitter is very slow. Well, it's kind of slow compared to a gas-powered one, but it's faster than the manual log splitter where you got 2 handles and you pump them back and forth. So this one's really slow. But with the electric log splitter, you can put a board behind it and it doesn't retract all the way back. That's kind of what we do here. When we let this retract back, we don't retract it all the way back. The other thing we do, and The instruction says you're not supposed to do this, but you can close the distance with a board like this. And so now it cuts down the amount of ram you got to use to come up. That helps out a lot. Carolyn really likes using that, but you're not supposed to do that because this can slip out. It's not that dangerous. You know, everything's got to be a warning and danger, and you know, Will Rogers needs a robot to protect him. Now, one of the things we do, since we got these big rounds and nothing we have will split them, is I've come up with a creative little way to make the splitter do what I want it to do. So what I do is I take the chainsaw and I cut a groove just the depth of the blade itself. And then when I take it over to the log splitter, I match the wedge of the log splitter here. Carolyn starts pumping it, and then that wedge gets in there and splits it open. That works out really good. So that gets us where we can get these bigger rounds split. Once we have it split once, usually we don't need to do that again. You may ask, why don't I just split the wood with the chainsaw? Well, it's really hard on the chainsaw. It breaks teeth on the blade. Did that last year with a huge oak tree that we found down at the park, and I was doing a lot of cross cutting, and it broke like 6 or 7 teeth on the chain. Now you can get a cross cut chain, but we use it so little that I think I'd just be changing the chain back and forth, and I don't know where to find them. I'd have to go research it. I suppose I'm just making excuses. Cross cutting also uses a ton of gasoline. Wears out the chainsaw. It's just a lot of extra wear and tear on a piece of equipment when we can have this $100 log splitter or a maul that does all the work for us. So my point is, we're doing the same amount of work with the chainsaw as we are with the log splitter, except we're also tearing up the chainsaw. So I don't know, it just, to me, I don't think it's a very effective use of the chainsaw. So I'm going to cut up some of these logs so Carolyn can split them. So like this one here needs one split, that's all it needs, but I can't hit that with the maul, it's too skinny. So if I cut it in half, then Carolyn can split it with the manual log splitter. Now, just recently I've told you that I straightened my back a little bit, so you're going to see me kneeling a lot and squatting down to cut the wood. That is really helping the back. I probably should have been doing that all along, but you know, you learn lessons over time and figure things out. But I'm going to start kneeling and squatting to cut firewood just to save the back so I can do it as long as possible. Okay, so this is the log that I just showed you that had the chainsaw split in it. And so I brought it over here and Carolyn and I split it. As you can see, it split very easily. The reason I had to have Carolyn come over is because I had to hold the log while she operated the log splitter. Now over here, there's a log that I want to show you that is going to be complicated. Here we have a log that has 2 branches coming off of it. So I would imagine this was the center beam here. This is a branch and this is a branch. Our little log splitter is really going to struggle with this. So what I might do is I might have to cut this off right here and then cut this branch off. It's going to be a lot of work for the chainsaw because I'm cross cutting again. But then I can put a slit right here and then we'll just save this one as the firewood. The rest of this we can use for little campfires, or so Carolyn can do her cooking outside. When you're doing this off-grid without a lot of power equipment, you really got to think things through. This pile is probably twice the size of the pile I just showed you over there. It's much taller, and I got to get this cleared up before December because I got to be able to take this path down here to get firewood. I have sycamore already sitting on the back porch waiting for fall temperatures. Sycamore doesn't burn as hot as oak. You might be able to see I got it sitting on the back porch, keeping the rain off of it. I'm going to buy some shower curtains and hang up, that way the rain doesn't even blow in. That should get us, I would say, into November time frame. And then I got some walnut over here that I can pull out. Walnut doesn't burn as hot as oak either. And then that'll get us through November, and then we'll get into the oak. So I'm going to demonstrate how to operate the manual log splitter. This is where the head cam would work really well. So I'm going to use the log here that Carolyn and I split. So there's a knob right here that retracts the bar. So when now you don't want to bring it all the way back because the log's going to be short. So you don't want to have to extend this all the way out just to hit the log. Now I'm going to break the rules again, and I'm going to use that piece behind there. So I will bring this all the way back. Okay, so there's two poles that do the pushing of the log. This is a fast speed pole. So when you want the ram to go quickly, you use this one. But when you get up against the log, you can't even hardly move this one. This is the power pole. Doesn't take much effort to push it. As you're running the ram up to the log, you can even use both of these at the same time. Once the log hits the wedge here, then you just have to go to the power ram. So now you can see that it's doing some splitting. The thing I have noticed is throughout the summer I've not heard anybody run a chainsaw. But last February it got really cold, and you heard chainsaws all over the place, running. So I hope I can inspire you to plan for your dreams. Thanks for watching.